It's beginning to look a lot like Half a Clue, Miss.
Fahudoras.
I guess that's our intro.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Half a Clue movie review. I am Blake, and I'm joined by
Ron.
Jason.
And Miles.
No one suggested this movie. It was randomly selected if you listen to our last episode.
Well, we all kind of decided on it.
Also, I do want to apologize for us missing a week.
Yeah, we just got busy. It happens. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was really pounding on their walls over this one.
I don't know. I got like 4 emails and
No, you
2
didn't.
carrier pigeons of people complaining. So, it was...
The chance that anyone even noticed is pretty astronomically low. And that's
If you
fine.
noticed, let us know.
Yeah.
If you noticed, let us know. However, we randomly and I guess kind of debated that we were going to talk about a Hallmark Christmas movie on our previous episode, and we landed on Dashing Through the Snow, the riveting adventure of a maybe fugitive women trying to head home for Christmas. Or not home, but
Somewhere.
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
To her mom's house.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
she
her
wasn't
mom's
even like a
house.
fugitive, though. They were just like a person of interest.
Yeah.
If she was an actual fugitive, that would have been cool. But
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get into it. I guess let's start this with what did y'all think about Dashing Through the Snow?
Wait, you have any history, Ron?
Yeah, Ron, where's the history? Where's
All right.
the lore?
So, flashback back to 2015. A young person decides to write this movie, and they did. And then it came out, and then it premiered about almost 9 years ago.
Is this
Yeah.
the role that got the Corey? Did this get the guy the Corey Cunningham role?
Yeah, exactly. And then the lady from Yellow Jackets. This is really what launched their careers.
Gotcha.
I mean, this is kind of a success. Look at them; they're both in like really good stuff now. You can start from.
And the main guy probably
Okay,
just
Halloween Ends
Wait,
is not really
the
good.
question is, was Blade in anything else good after this?
He
yeah,
was the
because-
only character with any actual character in this movie.
absolutely. I could see him as like a young Wishbone, like,
No, not Little Blade, like Big Blade.
Oh, Big Blade.
Big Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him as a young Wishbone. Really.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to bring down the mood, but doing the math, Blade might be dead already.
No, shut the fuck up. It's 9
jeez.
years. 9 years?
Yeah, but they
Oh.
probably shot it a year in advance.
He's a puppy.
He's fine.
He's
grew
like
up to be a
a
big-
legitimate, like, little tiny puppy.
He's a puppy. He's a big dog, though. I think he's going to grow
Nah,
up to
that's
be
like
a
a
big dog.
terrier mix, I think.
Yeah, that was definitely not something that was
60
going to be a
pounds
big dog.
max.
Yeah.
So, someone verify this. Is Blade still alive? Is Blade still with us? These are the questions we need to
Yeah.
answer.
Little
the dog.
Blade,
Yes,
yeah.
the little dog.
People
Not-
online
not the-
still claim the dog from Lost is still alive, and I'm like, you've
No.
lost your
There's
mind.
no way.
It's because they've never updated it like on the website. People are like, look at the website. It's like, that dog was like fucking 10 when Lost came out.
But
Yeah, it's a lab.
the real
that's-
question is
no.
the polar bear still alive?
No, he died on the show.
Oh,
They killed the real polar bear for that scene.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was
Pretty
very
extreme.
controversial. Yeah. But they had the actor who played Sawyer shoot a live polar bear that was
How dare
charging
you
at him.
refer to Josh Holloway as the guy who plays Sawyer?
Sorry, as the guy is. Yes,
As you can tell, we're already getting sidetracked because this movie was just that.
Does Lost have a Christmas episode?
Actually, yes, and it's the highest rated episode of the series.
Is it really?
Yes, it's The Consonant. It's the one where Desmond is like going forward in time. Like every time he keeps like kind of like it's like he's having seizures, but when he seizes, he wakes up in a different period in his life, and he has to communicate with Penny like, "Hey, I'm gonna call you on Christmas Eve of like 2008, and I really need you to answer." Because
Yeah.
that's how he like gets them rescued. Spoilers for Lost, if anybody gives a shit. So yes, Lost has a Christmas episode, and it's actually one of the best. That's actually
Penny.
that's where the famous "I love you, Penny."
I love
I've
you, Penny.
always loved you. That's like where
Always
that comes from.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so this movie, I said it, like, it felt like a setup to an episode of Supernatural. Like, I think it's
just that one scene did.
At least, yeah, while they're driving, it felt like.
I mean, that one scene is 80% of the movie. Is
was
them
gonna
in the
say,
car just
like
driving.
sitting in
this,
the car,
this
yeah.
whole movie felt like a setup for something, and it nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like,
It sets
like,
itself up for like a pretty decent, like romantic comedic
yeah.
plot.
There was a bunch of
but
different...
nothing fucking happens. Like
Well, what were you expecting,
Yeah,
Jason?
there was a
Did you
bunch of
expect-
something.
Yeah, I was like, are they
it's a
gonna?
movie.
There's a puppy. Is there gonna be puppy shenanigans?
No puppy shenanigans. Not one puppy shenanigan. They left it in a hotel room by itself.
Yeah, I thought, oh, they're gonna come back. It's gonna be like trashed, or oh, darn, this puppy. No, the puppy's just like, hey, sorry, I don't poop or pee.
It's just the most perfect puppy ever.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very cute puppy, at least, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like the spy stuff, I was like, is there going to be like a double thing that they do where it's like, oh, well, they think that she's a spy, but then he thinks that she's not a spy. But then it turns out that she actually is a spy.
I thought it was going to be a Christmas. What's that movie Tarantino? True Romance.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a Christmas True Romance for a second.
Oh, just at the end, it just turns into chaos. Like all these elements just clash together. You see the fucking barista guys like crashing through the windows. And they're in the middle of a drug deal. Yeah, Blade is like actually connected to like the biker gangs and shit.
It's like a fighting dog. He like rips apart all the characters.
Yeah.
Because you're right, Jason. For a Hallmark Christmas movie, it has an interesting setup, and it's like, well, okay.
Well,
but
the
then nothing
setup is
happens.
the whole reason we decided to fucking watch it, and like, yeah.
I mean, did you expect anything that great?
I expected
really-
to have at least a little bit of fun watching it.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even like bad enough to be funny bad.
There
like
were
that was
moments
the
I thought
problem.
were
It was
pretty
just
funny.
like very neutral
It's just
the
the
whole
most
time.
bland
I was-
fucking road trip movie I've ever watched.
I was hoping that because of the premise, the fugitive thing,
Yeah.
that it would lead to like, oh, okay, this is kind of getting off the rails. Like something crazy would happen.
They tried to do that with like the agents, like everything she does, they assume is some like international crime.
But even then, it's like she could have done something even dumber. Like, I don't know. They could have like really leaned into it.
For the record, I'm not defending this movie. I'm just trying to like.
You sound like you're defending it.
It's my favorite movie of all time, maybe.
And I mean, like, even the agent that they have following them, it's like, oh, like he does nothing funny throughout the film.
No,
it's like
he does
you're
draw
like,
a gun at a barista for no reason.
yeah,
On a
I mean,
17-year-old
He's like, they
kid.
switch plates.
Yeah,
Pulls
they're
out
like-
his gun super fast.
no, because they set it up so well. They're like, oh yeah, we got this one newbie officer, and they're like, ugh, we don't want that, but then they have to, and it's like, okay, so this guy's gonna be really fucking bad at his job, but like they didn't do it in a funny way.
Yeah, again, he could have just been like they kind of do the thing where it's like, oh, he's misconstruing things that's happening, but he could have really like, over the top kind of like just like ridiculous shenanigans that were like, wow, of course this is like what makes him think that that's happening. I don't know. Like
Instead of him being like, oh yeah, she's on the phone, I don't know what it is, he could have been like, oh my god, guys, she just got on the phone, I think that she's talking to the guy,
she's speaking another language.
yeah, like they could have done so much.
He's such an irrelevant character because we could have had all of that from the main guy.
Yeah.
Who was like, he could have been like, I wanted more back and forth between him and like, what was it, the FBI?
Yeah.
And
Or-
I wanted him to be like, oh yeah, we're going here and she's plotting something.
Well,
like to be.
Like there wasn't even one time where he like snuck away to go into like
The
a
real
phone booth
reason-
to take
He
a
didn't
call.
even check the fucking present. That was the whole fucking thing.
The real reason that, because I remember we asked this during the movie, and this is relevant to what we're talking about now. Why would they send two guys to do this?
Yeah.
The real reason is because they wanted to have that mid-movie twist where it's like, oh, he's an FBI agent, but it's like, who gives a shit? Like, he doesn't do anything.
If you knew that from the beginning, it wouldn't have changed shit.
No.
Yeah.
It just, if anything, it would have made it slightly more interesting. But even then, it's still dumb because what were they banking on her wanting to ride with this guy? Like what? Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like who?
Well, no, I mean, he did come up after he heard where she was going and then implanted himself. Like, theoretically, he was doing decent spy work. I don't know.
It's
I mean, it's
but
fucking.
it's a big risk.
I mean, yeah,
it's a tall
it's a
ask
leap.
to try to get a random girl at an airport to drive with you.
it was a
for
very long
across
shot.
Well,
the state,
yeah.
across
She-
the Pacific Coast
multiple
Highway.
states. Yeah,
she does put up a fight for, she says one line, you could be an axe murderer. Okay.
Yeah,
but she's like,
call
he's
my
too,
mom.
Yeah, he's too handsome to be a murderer.
He's a war hero, honey.
Yeah, call my mom.
What
the fuck
that
is
sounds
that?
like something a serial killer would tell you to lure you into their car. Just talk to my mom. I don't know. I'm a nice guy.
Got a whole bunch of cheese sandwiches for you.
There were parts I thought were kind of funny, bad in this movie.
Yeah,
You know-
there were some lines that were funny. Yeah.
like-
We'll get to my favorite one.
One
at
of the
end.
thing is that I really had a problem with. They portray her as being like super intelligent, like she's got all these skills and things like that. She's a world traveler, but she can't fucking like spot a tail, like a very obvious tail that's following them like all the way through the movie. Like she didn't even mention it once.
Has anyone,
like,
if you ever been on a
Yeah.
road trip, you start to notice the cars that are around you
Yeah.
because there's nothing else going on.
I've done that exact drive they've done before, and was very entertained by a bald man that was driving with us. That was driving in front of me for like 2 hours.
He could have been your true Christmas love, dude.
Maybe I think I missed out, but yeah, you will notice shit like that.
Yeah.
And that was only for like 2 hours. That was not nearly as long as their trip was.
They weren't. She wasn't like, there is this weird Ford Royal or whatever that's been fucking tailing us for, let's see, 12 hours straight.
Marina.
Like, that's weird.
It, like,
Stops when we
in between
stop.
stops,
He's
yeah.
taking
Yeah.
pictures of us.
Yeah,
outside the
he's why is he in
restaurant.
the same store we are? He couldn't look more like conspicuous.
They also, it's important to note that this is a romantic comedy, and they have like no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
no comedy whatsoever. There's like no actual fucking jokes in this whole damn movie.
And what's our main character's name?
Ashley.
No.
Ashley.
Ashley.
His
Yeah.
name's
Yeah.
Dasher, right? Or-
Dash.
His name's
Yeah,
Dash.
it's Ashley and Dash.
Okay,
Like
Ashley.
Dash from The Incredibles?
Yes. He grew up to
90%?
be lame.
Yeah.
90% of Ashley's lines are about Christmas. She just talks, and then we drank hot cocoa and watched Christmas movies, and then it's like, damn, what do you do the other 11 months of the year? Like, what do you talk about? It's all you have to say.
She just sits in a room with fake snow and it's just like, no more Christmas.
It's like holy shit. Do you talk about anything else?
No, I don't think she does.
Yeah.
Like she literally. I'm trying to think of any dialogue that is not that
The
she
only
that
other
she brings up.
dialogue-
There's that, and then like she talks about fucking Freud.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
like
some
4
reason.
times. They bring up Freud like 4
And
times.
he's always like,
And-
oh, I
and
paint
I'm like, does she know
houses.
any other fucking psychology terms? Could think of something else.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's not even
She
that
mentions
good of a
Pavlov. She mentions Pavlov.
she's-
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
but then she's also like, oh, the interstate highway system, and they have a discussion about how great the highway system is, and then she's like, oh, and I know sign language, and it's like she
Yeah.
just has all these odd little like things that make her seem like very educated and intelligent, but she is
It
dumb
would've
as
been-
rocks. She is dumb as rocks.
It would have been so much funnier if like she's trying to be nice to the kid and he's just like, yeah, not falling for that one or something. She's hanging out with a puppy. He's like, could it be any more obvious you're trying to throw me off?
Yeah.
Like something. I don't know. Fuck. Oh, she
Yeah.
can speak sign language. That's just, I don't know. If that could just been like, oh, wow, she is a fucking spy. I don't know.
But yeah, there was
God.
actually that is one of the
That's
biggest
just to be
problems
her
with.
being nice.
I
The
know.
one time
So-
she like does something fucking like suspicious, he's not even around.
No.
They fucking like have her like speaking in Russian, like
Yeah.
on the phone to someone, and like what that's supposed to make us as the audience think, oh, maybe she's a
Yeah.
fucking like terrorist or
Terrorist.
whatever.
But nobody else
No
in the
one's
FBI
around for
hears
Should we-
it.
We don't have to go through the plot, but can we, like, I don't even think we talked about what the plot's supposed to
So-
be. In 2 sentences, we could do this.
Okay.
She's trying to get home for Christmas, and the FBI thinks she's a terrorist because of a case of identity theft.
So she can't get on her plane.
So she can't get on her plane, and she ends up having to carpool with what turns out to be an undercover agent that's pretending to be Hot Man. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And also, he's pretty boring, too. Like, he's just
Yeah, no.
like,
One
so
problem that
boring.
I have, I just want to bring this up real quick. The biggest problem that I have, I think with the overall flow of the movie, it would have worked so much better if they had just made this one change where you don't get to see him be suspicious of her ever. It's like instantly, like he's always just like, okay,
We
yeah.
do for 1
like,
second.
Well, okay, but that's like after the fact. That's like he's like, he's already decided that she's innocent.
Drop
and then,
off a package.
Yeah. Then it's
On
like
Christmas.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh my god.
To be fair, she was being a little shady about it.
I mean, like at the beginning of the movie, if they had just shown a little bit more intrigue out of him, like
Exactly.
showed
That's
him
what I was saying
doing like
earlier,
1 or 2 agenty things,
It's the fact
then
that
like
he-
the transition would have made more sense. I think.
He never searches her box.
Yeah.
The mysterious box that they flagged. Like he never once looked in there.
Yeah.
Why?
Like I mean, they could have just even given like a neat little piece of dumb tech, right? Where it's like he's able to scan it, but then like she like calls to him and he drops it and breaks it underneath the car so that he can't see inside it. Oh no! So he doesn't know what's in there. They could have just thrown in a fucking MacGuffin like that,
Yeah.
where it's like, what is in that package? Because you never think that the whole time, except for like the one scene where they're interviewing the flight attendant, who for no reason it's like,
That's
oh
not what a
shoot,
MacGuffin is.
well. Whatever. The package was a MacGuffin.
Kind of. I mean, no one was chasing after it, other than I guess the FBI agents. But
But
it was a
It could
pretty
have been.
station.
It could have been a red
Yeah.
herring.
Oh, red
but,
herring.
like,
Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. No.
It's another term.
The dog. The dog was the
out all
Chekhov's gun.
No, dude,
Yeah.
the dog. Okay, so that shit pissed me off too because there's a thing they established later where he's like, oh, he's a veteran. Sorry. So
Two very different things.
yes,
Ron.
he's a veteran who specifically worked with like bomb dogs or whatever, and he had a bad experience at war. And he wanted to, and like I don't know, and then like they have a dog, and it's you think, oh okay, so he's gonna have some kind of connection to the dog, or there's gonna be something going on with the dog. They didn't touch that at all.
No.
Yeah.
like
He
not
sees
even.
the dog. He's like, I don't want that.
He's like, okay.
Like-
and she's like, come on, let's take a dog. And he's like, no, okay. And it's like, what the fuck?
They
Like,
could have at least like had him like wake up in the morning with the dog licking his face or something, or like just show that like, oh, this dog likes him, and
just
that
him
he's-
burying his face
yeah.
in the pillows,
Or
and just
maybe-
dogs barking in the background.
Maybe he shows no interest in the dog. And
Yeah.
then at some point the dog's in danger and he has to go save it.
Yeah.
You know, something. Do something.
Just throw
Yeah.
like a little bit of
Like, I'm
action.
pretty sure there was a movie that came out recently where it was
Guys.
about a dude who's like, he had a dog that died at war, and then he comes back, and there's another dog, and he has
it's
to take
Mark
care of it.
Wahlberg movie, right?
Yeah, right. It's like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that exact idea. It's so fucking cookie cutter, but it's something that could add something to this
Remember-
movie.
Remember that awful scene in American Sniper where like a dog's barking and he's like, ah. That movie's awful. Really quick though, guys,
Fake baby.
this is a fucking Hallmark movie, okay? You guys are talking about like real movie stuff right now.
No, but
Are
it's like
we, though?
it's basic shit.
Okay, we're talking
These
about
are
stuff
things
that
I
would have been
expected.
easy to
These-
execute.
But these movies are so like
Okay, no.
like they're nothing. Like nothing ever happens in them. I don't know why you guys are surprised.
Okay, no, but see, like the thing is, yes, I get that Hallmark movies are supposed to be saccharine, least common denominators when it comes to movies, right? Like I'm fine with that. Like that's their place within
although-
the movie ecosystem. But these are things that would be very easy to execute, where you just have 1 or 2 little tidbits like this that actually add some interest to the film, that make you feel for the characters, and then it turns it into a much better film. Because I didn't care about Dash. I didn't care about Ashley. I cared more about Old Blade than Little Blade.
He's the only-
yeah. He was the only like good character. And then you have
Like, how did this biker guy come across these puppies?
then
Why
you
is
have
he-
like
He
2
found
kids.
him on the side of the road. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
She should have ended up with him.
Oh, and then don't even get me started on the B plot, which like I don't
Cunningham.
even
Fucking nothing.
Wait,
what?
Nothing.
Corey
I don't
fuck?
even know those guys' names. I don't even know
His
their
name
names.
is Corey Cunningham.
Yeah.
He's not. The actor who Corey
Rohan Campbell, right?
yes, he's the guy who plays Corey Cunningham in Halloween Ends. He's in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I can really
That's
say
about
about
it.
it.
The entire
Yeah,
description.
apparently
Yeah.
his mom owns a coffee
No,
shop.
his friend's mom owns a coffee
Yeah.
His
shop.
friend's mom owns a coffee shop, and
And his friend gives coffees to his girlfriend, I think.
Something.
or something. Yeah, and
He's parked in front of the coffee shop.
yeah, and his friend swaps plates, but like
But he
that's-
swaps them because he doesn't want to get a ticket, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
it's
it's like
really
just
dumb.
Registration's expired.
Oh, well, just move your fucking car. Park someplace else.
Like is there a back alley or
yeah,
something?
like park anywhere
there.
else.
I've spent a lot of time in my adult life with an expired registration.
It's like,
Well,
you can get away with it,
he got
man.
freaked out because the cop like walks up and is like, "Ooh."
Sure, but then you just move
Well, he
your
was
car.
already plotting this before the cop showed up.
He was no. He
He just didn't want to drive with expired plates.
He was worried
He was a
about
dumb
it.
teenager.
He was
a
worried
dumb
about it.
teenager.
He's like, I don't want to get in trouble for expired plates, so I'm just going to commit a felony.
Yeah.
Just to, it's like, there you go.
yeah.
I like how when the FBI shows up, they like go in guns drawn.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
He stole plates or whatever.
And there's no fucking payoff to it. Like, we
No.
didn't see him get arrested.
Well, because I thought
Why
in the
can't we see him
beginning-
get arrested?
Or
you
gunned
ca-
down at
Because
least.
we noted early on that they have the same car, so we saw the plate switch
Yeah.
Coming. Yeah.
but I kind of assumed they would jump in the plot somehow, like somehow they would get intertwined, but
Or,
yeah, that didn't happen.
yeah. Or like
Again, true romance.
There had to be like something more to it. They dedicated too much time of the film to these two nothing characters.
Yeah.
That really
Because
just
our
were
main
nothing
Wait,
characters.
who are we talking about?
The baristas.
The baristas, yeah.
Because our main two characters were such intricate reflections of humanity.
Yeah, we
right?
lost precious screen time
Yeah.
on the lady talking about Christmas again.
but see, that's where you get the problem is because did they dedicate so much time to these characters because they had nothing else that they could have done? But we just went through all the other things they could have done with the main characters, right?
Yeah.
And so it's, they're wasting screen time on dumb stuff and not doing the bare minimum to turn this into like a serviceable story.
Yeah.
The story is good. Honestly, I like the premise. I like the idea of the plot where, it's a case of mistaken identity where this lady is suspected by the FBI of being a terrorist. So they send an FBI agent to tail along with her secretly through some mysterious means so that he can see her contacts and who she's meeting with and kind of implant him into her cell of terrorism. That's in a certain respect.
This isn't a Tom Clancy novel. It's a fucking awful Christmas
No,
movie.
but it was a Christmas awful.
I get
it
what
was
you're
an
saying.
awful Christmas movie trying to be a Tom Clancy novel.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it
it's
didn't.
like-
yeah.
No, it's written by Debbie McComber.
She wrote the book.
She wrote
Apparently,
the
this
book.
is based on a fucking
Maybe
book.
the book's better.
Is the book
look-
better?
Just
What
looking
do
at her
people say?
books, they look like they look like Hallmark movie books.
Okay.
Like they look like book versions.
What's
There's
the
one
books
called A
like?
Good Yarn, My
Good- A Good
Miracle, Cottage by the Sea, 16 Lighthouse Road, A Christmas Diet. Oh no, Duet. Sorry. So I think she seems like the Christmas the Hallmark movie equivalent of books.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie is titled on IMDb as Debbie McComber's Dashing Through the Snow.
Yeah, they really wanted
So,
that
like-
name recognition here.
Yeah.
She's the Stephen King of Hallmark movies.
Maybe she is. Some people really like these. Like,
Yeah, I
there's-
know.
There's a lot of people that are super into the Hallmark Christmas movies.
And I mean, like, honestly, I kind of understand because I am a connoisseur of trash cinema. You guys know I love trash TV shows and trash movies, but this is not even trash. Like, this is so bland.
Well, they don't
that
think of it that way.
that
They
it doesn't even like
It's-
make it to that level. Of,
It's just like I want to watch something without having to think too hard, and I mean that like in the best way. It's like how people watch like certain reality TV shows and shit, where they're just like, I just want something on that's gonna just let me.
I
tune out.
legitimately think even reality TV show is more challenging to like the
No.
brain. than
Fucking
this,
Hell's
though.
Kitchen is like art
Oh.
compared to this.
Dude.
Like-
Yes, yeah, no, that's true.
What am I
Well, Hell's
supposed to
Kitchen
get
is
out of
one
this?
of the best
Tell me.
reality TV shows.
What is it I'm supposed to get out of this? Like, what's the emotional
Christmas
experience?
good.
Christmas good.
Christmas
Believe
good.
in each
she
other.
fell in love with the guy
dude-
over 2 days.
The dude literally says she'll never believe me. She'll never believe that I believe in Santa.
Oh my God!
It's
That's
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I also
what
wanna-
are you talking about?
So there's a part in the movie where he discovers that she had her identity stolen, and so he like texts his boss and he's like, "Yo, we're wrong. Let's turn away." And the boss
Sup,
is
homie?
like, "Yo, homie, that my briefcase." So he texts his boss, like, "Hey, we're wrong," and the boss is like, "Doesn't matter. Keep following her." So he abandons his fucking phone in like the at the pool table, and then they just leave. And I'm like,
genius
bro,
move.
you were the worst FBI agent ever. Like, even if you don't believe you're just quitting over this? Like, what's happening?
He's just dropping out of the
Yeah,
FBI.
he told Santa he quit his job.
And mind you, they weren't tracking his. Oh, okay. I'm kind of a little bit pissed. They weren't tracking his phone once the guy started following him, even after the guy lost him, right?
Yeah.
You know, it lost them. It's like, okay, well, guess what? You've got an open line on this phone that you're listening to that you can easily track.
And then the FBI's like, oh, clearly he's in danger. He must have been kidnapped. It's like, no, this dude has clearly been faltering from like moment one. That's what they're saying.
Called it out.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this guy's falling for this lady.
Well, the main FBI guy, not like the one that's in the car, but the one that's tracking them, just every time she makes a move, he's convinced she's like a mastermind.
Yeah. Okay, we have to talk about the finale, the big scene.
Can I say my favorite line maybe of all time? I'll give it context. So she gets arrested and interrogated, but we don't see that.
We skip all of
that. We just see her
anything that could possibly be interesting. They skipped over.
Them just like waterboarding her and shit.
So they show,
this is next Christmas. She's been in Guantanamo for a year.
It's like that scene in Ozark when they're torturing the lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. Pulling out her fingernails and shit.
Jason Bateman, ow, my toe, it kind of hurts. Anyways, getting off topic. So they take her away, and I guess she gets interrogated, and then she goes to her mom's house, and obviously she's a little bit upset that, he was lying to her and was secretly an FBI agent. Hate it when that happens.
It's the worst.
But she gives the best line, and I'm probably going to butcher it a little bit, that I've heard all year. She goes, and the truth is, I don't care about him.
She says,
no, Mom, I lied.
Yeah.
He's everything I've ever wanted. I love him. Like, you've spent 2 days in a car talking about Christmas with him.
Yeah, there's been zero chemistry. There's not even like a smidge of like, oh,
romance.
there's nothing.
He gives her his jacket.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
That's
only
all it takes, man.
thing he does for
They
her.
kiss.
So the last
reason.
movie that we recorded
Yeah.
for was 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
And that was a better romance than this movie.
Well, yeah,
of course.
obviously.
Of course it is.
That's a real movie.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's and then the grand gesture at the end is he rides into the town square area that's like filled with like 30 people, and then he's just in a tractor.
On a tractor, yeah.
Pulling
With Christmas lights.
Yeah, with Christmas lights. And then she's like, oh, just like my daddy. And then like, they like make
To be
out.
fair, she did mention that like whole fucking tradition in her town where the whole town, which I guess is
Like 30
a pretty
people.
fucking small town, would come out and watch the lights of the town Christmas tree be lit. And might I say, that is the worst Christmas tree I've ever seen in my life. It is fucking 4 feet tall, and it's supposed to be the centerpiece of this town square.
Yeah, they couldn't
Also-
get a regular fucking tree.
They count down to Christmas like it's New Year's for some reason.
No, and if you hear like half of the extras who are saying like Merry Christmas, like I feel like half of them almost said Happy New Year's. They were like, Merry Christmas. Yeah. It was just bad.
Yeah. And then it ends. That's it. It just ends.
Yeah, it just cuts to black.
He shows up and she says, "You're just like my dad," and then they kiss and then roll credits. That's the fucking end of this
so
movie.
fucking
It
weird.
doesn't even like have a pan up with music to show like a star in the sky or some shit. I mean, like they would have had to allude to it earlier in the film to make that work, but still, I mean, it does nothing.
She's been driving. They're driving north the whole time.
Yeah.
They could have literally been like, it's like we're following the North Star. Like, I don't know. Fuck, there's something there. As you think about it for a second.
I mean, like, you could have just done something. It literally just ends. And then I assume the next Hallmark movie starts at that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They have these going 24/7.
Exactly. Yeah. We should also mention the activity that we were doing while watching this movie.
Why do you have these, Miles?
I don't know. I think I think my mom just like randomly had them when she was cleaning out stuff, and she was like, "Oh, you like movies? Watch these movies with your friends and play some Hallmark bingo."
And then we did.
Yeah.
So
that's not what my mom sounds like. I was just trying to make her sound more like
yeah, she sounds more
old
like
lady.
I thought your mom was here with us. I love you, Miles.
So Hallmark Christmas movie bingo. There's such squares as
When
kissing, baking, glitter, carriage ride, calendar, stocking, drinking cocoa, shopping, candy canes, etc.
Santa.
I could have won in the
Antlers
first
driving.
10 minutes,
Yeah.
but there was no fucking baby in this movie.
There was no baby in this movie.
Yeah.
I
No
couldn't
babies.
believe it.
Also, are there any surprising things that weren't in this movie for you guys on this list? Like what didn't you get that you thought that you would have gotten? Like you're surprised.
I didn't
you
get sled or sleigh, which I thought was weird, or toy. You didn't
Yeah,
get a Christmas
you didn't
movie
get
without a
toy.
toy.
Family photo as well.
Baking.
well, it depends
Mistletoe?
on the movie.
How did I not have mistletoe?
For me, candle.
They
There
went
was
to
not a
Mistletoe,
single
Oregon. That
candle in
counts.
the film. Guys, there was not a single candle in the
That's
film.
true. I
how
was eyeing out
surprising.
for candles.
We watched an oddball Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh, also no fireplace. There was no fireplace.
Oh, that's weird,
Like,
yeah.
like they couldn't have gotten like wet at some points in the snow, and then had to like sit in front of a fireplace
I mean,
and
I
have
think she
like
does, but like at the
a
end.
close
Really quick,
conversation.
totally irrelevant.
Yeah, because he's like her dad.
Totally, totally irrelevant, but I want to bring it up. Before he reveals he's an FBI agent, before we even know that, he says his profession is painting houses. And then he, Miles, and Ron were like, oh, it's like the Irishman.
Yeah, like I thought legit he was gonna be like a hitman, and they think she's a terrorist, and there's gonna be like some again shenanigans, something. But
I don't.
no,
But that's the thing is like I wouldn't expect that from a Hallmark movie.
I-
Like, don't get me. If it was a real movie, I'm like, okay, maybe he is a hitman, and maybe she is a terrorist, and this will be a grand old good time. But
Look, I'll say if I have to defend this movie in any way, I'll say I worked on these movies before, and usually
how
they're
does production go on a movie like this? Do people
Oh,
are people
fast.
passionate about it?
Oh, not
or-
at all. No, everyone knows exactly what it is. It's a paycheck, and everyone is just working to just move on to the next scene. They're just like, "What's the dialogue for this scene? Let's do it. Let's make sure we shoot it. Let's make sure the lighting is flat as fuck because we don't want anything to possibly have like some kind of emotion or flavor because it's the same exact setup. So they just soft like lighting, and then yeah, it depends. Usually it can go I don't know, smoother, but it's just like go, just cranking them out. That's it. It's just it's a production
I
line.
will say they used a surprising amount of different like terrain in this movie, right? Because they did get the wide range
Yeah.
of areas with snow, areas without snow, forests, deserts.
But it also
you know?
didn't make any
like-
sense. Like, I mean, for where they were driving.
Yeah.
It didn't, but I mean, at the same time, it was like they did put that effort in to actually like.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just like one location shot from 3 different
I was
angles.
gonna
They
say-
sent 2 guys with a drone up the 5 for like fucking 2 days. That's how they got those shots.
Even then, I think that's probably even just B footage, like was it B-roll?
Yeah,
because I did
like
okay.
the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah, their establishing shot to tell you where they're starting out from was just literally a shot of San Francisco.
Yeah, but then
it's-
they don't even
Yeah.
go into any of these like major cities that they
So
go.
so
No,
but
I
I
wanted
will
to
say
show down in
before that
Portland.
I will say before that you guys thought that they were starting out in Oregon because there was an Oregon license plate on the car, and I was like, not so fast. There's Oregon license plates on a lot of rental cars. And actually, I think I know why,
Well-
because you mentioned about the 2-year registration.
But also the reason I thought Oregon too is not only the Oregon plate, they did not in the beginning, unless I wasn't paying attention, establish how long the drive was going to be.
No,
Yeah,
And
they
driving
did.
from, say, Eugene or Portland to Seattle is a very short drive and very doable. It's a lot easier than driving from San Francisco, which also isn't that far, but
I
still.
mean, you're gonna want to stop at least a day.
Yeah, but from Portland or like Eugene or any of the other, really any major Oregon city, you can make that drive in a day trip.
Yeah.
And they did not specify how long it was going to be, so that's why I assumed Oregon.
So I just want to say a tidbit from I think it was the second movie I ever worked on was a Hallmark Christmas movie, and one of my favorite things was that I felt so bad for the art department, like production design, they had like no budget at all for decorating for Christmas, and it's like you'd think there'd be a lot of Christmas shit, right? We were shooting in the Santa's Village up in Arrowhead, like near Arrowhead Lake, right? And they had, I'm not kidding you, like they had 2 like 6-foot like Christmas trees and like a handful of string lights that wherever the camera was pointing, they would just like toss them like everywhere and move them around, and like a trash bag full of fake snow that they just like would throw. Okay, we shoot out that angle. Now we're switching over here, grabbing everything and just like moving them around and shit. And I remember
magic of filmmaking.
That sounds fucking miserable.
Oh no, it was terrible. And I remember at one point they were like, because it's like running and gunning, we're just moving around a lot. And then they're like, oh, and then the the director just had the idea of like, I'm just gonna like pan down and look all over here and see everything and whatever. And then the poor art people are like, what the fuck? Like, how are we gonna, like, it's a wide shot, like covering a lot of steps. So they're just like stretching everything to the, like, you know, the most that they can do. And we're just like basically flooding lights out, just there's light up everywhere. But it was so funny. I remember just like, because you can watch that movie, I don't want to say which one it was, but like there's just like you see the same fucking Christmas trees in the background. And they try to make like it's snowy, but we're also shooting in like August in Southern California, so it was just like hot as fuck, which I felt so bad for the actors that are dressed like it's winter. Yeah, it was it's ridiculous.
We could have talked about Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, we could talk about Gremlins.
We could have talked about Gremlins. We
just watched Die Hard.
We could have
talked about Die Hard. We could have talked about Bad Santa. No.
Okay, well, does anybody want to say what their favorite Christmas movie is?
I kind of divide Christmas movies into 2 categories.
Okay.
Because
what's your favorite true Christmas movie?
For me,
I don't know. It's a tough question.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
I can see that.
Love that movie.
I love. Does Eyes Wide Shut count?
No. That's
Okay.
like it's Christmas in it. But.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same way that
because I love movies that are like low key kind of Christmas movies.
Uh-huh.
I feel like
anything
Eyes
Shane
Wide
Black.
Shut.
That's not the
is-
question.
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Shut's kind of a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie.
There's
yeah,
Christmas
but I'm
in the
talking about
background.
like real Christmas movies.
It's about Christmas.
Yeah. Like a movie that they manufactured just for Christmas, not like Die Hard, not like Eyes Wide Shut, where it's a backdrop, right?
I mean, Christmas is like a plot point in Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh my
and it's-
God.
It's not a fucking Christmas
It is
Yes,
Die
it's a
Hard
Christmas
2.
party in Die Hard, but that's not the point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Um,
It's a backdrop for the movie, you know?
I don't know. I really like Terry Zwigoff's Bad Santa.
That is a good
great
movie.
movie.
That
Yeah.
would count. Yeah. That's a good one.
Oh, that counts?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah,
Santa.
it's about a
Just kidding.
Santa.
Yeah. You know, I've still got to go with, just because I grew up watching it every year with my parents.
Wizard of Oz.
No. Charlie Brown Christmas, man.
Oh, God.
I know.
hate
I know.
those Charlie Brown fucking...
I grew up with them. They they got a special place in my heart.
They are
Are you a baby boomer?
they are timeless. They're very sweet movies.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, you got one?
I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not a big Christmas person,
He's wearing Christmas pants.
but
right now.
when they're green and plaid, it's not like a fucking.
Look like a Christmas tree.
I don't know. Like when I was a kid, my favorite Christmas movie was Jingle All the Way. I fucking love that movie, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. We watched it last year.
Kind of. It was on during dinner.
I was watching it.
I watched it for the first time like last week.
Jake
I
Lloyd.
fucking love that movie.
It's pretty good. I tried watching White Christmas for the first time, or like rewatching it. I watched White Christmas, Bing Crosby. I'm dreaming, and I'm like, it has a fantastic opening. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen that one?
I've never seen it. No.
It opens with Bing Crosby singing White Christmas, like on the front lines in World War II. Like they're just trying to put on a Christmas show to like, give like some like hope to all the soldiers that are there and everything. And it's very sweet and like poignant, and like you see all the soldiers like really kind of, they're dealing with war and everything. And then the rest of the movie is honestly pretty boring. I was struggling to watch it, and I was like, and I love classic movies, so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, man, this movie's kind of a bit of a snore fest, but I don't know, maybe I have to revisit it again another time.
I really want to rewatch It's a Wonderful Life.
I've never seen that.
Me
I really
neither.
want to see it.
Every time a bell rings,
I watched
an
it
angel
a few
gets its
times.
wings.
I watched it a few times with my mom when I was younger, but I don't remember much.
The Scrooge McDuck Christmas Carol.
Okay.
No, best Christmas Carol movie, my opinion. Muppets Christmas Carol. That's fantastic. Michael Caine, Scrooge, so good.
What about the animated Jim Carrey one from like 2011? Is that any good?
I've never actually seen that one. I don't think I have.
Okay, so what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, the National Lampoon's one.
Yeah, you did say that.
Chevy Chase. That one, I watched that movie a lot growing up. It was one that, like, I say, like, my grandparents had like 5 VHSs.
That was one of the
That was
five.
one of them.
Yeah.
And my grandpa would just bust up laughing every time we watched it. So yeah, it's a lot of sweet memories.
I actually did not watch that movie until later in life.
Yeah.
The first and like for the longest time only National Lampoon movie I had seen. What do you guys think it is?
American Pie. Wait, no, that's not.
That's
no,
not
that's
National
Lampoon.
Fucking Van Wilder.
Nope.
Damn it.
Okay, you guys won't.
I'm trying to
Vacation.
think of like other National Lampoons.
Animal House.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
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 I've never seen Animal House.
Yeah, I saw that at a very young age. It's funny. It's a very funny movie. Yeah. I don't know. I'm surprised nobody said Elf.
Elf is.
I'm
a
also
classic
happy
one.
about that because I don't like that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Fuck Elf.
Yeah.
I like it, but I think it is played out a bit at this point. Like where it's, I think because we're getting the millennials that like kind of watched it like right at the right time, you know, and now it's just really getting oversaturated. That and the Grinch, which also I like Jim Carrey's Grinch.
I hate Jimmy Carrey's Grinch. I like the
Carrey?
I like the original.
Let's call him Jimmy.
Okay, I like the original animated one. I hate the live action one.
I actually love the live action one, but
I-
also it's a little played out to me, so I can't
Yeah.
watch it really.
I literally have not seen it since I was a child, but I fucking hated it as a kid for some reason.
hilarious.
I can't tell you why. It's been too long.
I'd say it might be worth the rewatch.
I'm probably never going to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
You say that now.
So yeah, we just gave you a list of like 10 to 12 other Christmas movies that you can watch instead of watching this movie.
A Very
we
Muppet
recommend it.
Christmas.
Yeah. Yes.
There's another one.
Mysterious Skin's kind of a Christmas movie when you think about it.
Oh
No.
God!
It is, but think about it. Think about it.
I don't want to think about it.
But it's kind of a Christmas. It's kind of a Christmas movie.
Blake, okay, you know what? You guys can't get mad at me by saying "The Sound of Silence" by Disturbed is my favorite Christmas song. If this is what you're calling Christmas movies,
Is it a
okay?
Christmas song?
Yeah,
It's not a Christmas song.
It's Christmas music.
It's not, and
It's
I like
not-
how you
Wait,
differentiate.
wait,
I like how
wait.
you differentiate. Is the original a Christmas song?
no.
Fuck off.
Wait, how is the Disturbed
Disturbed?
version of?
Okay,
What?
no. It's just like it
Hello,
sounds like a Christmas
my
song.
old friend.
Okay, no.
Come to give presents again.
Okay, look, if you did not understand the language and you were just listening to that song in a mixture of other Christmas music, you would not be able to tell that it was the odd one out.
I think
It just
you're
has the
wrong.
same sound as like just a Christmas song.
like-
It sounds like a Christmas song.
Like Jingle Bells or something?
No, no,
Just
like one of those somber ones, like Silent Night, right? Like things like that. Like one of the ones that like the carolers would sing mournfully out in the night.
Do you guys have like an underrated Christmas movie that you like, that you want to give a shout out or anything?
We watched this movie called fucking Klaus. That was really
Oh,
good.
that
is that
is
the
really
Netflix
good.
one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one's great.
That was actually really good. I wasn't expecting much, but I really enjoyed it.
It was very good.
I watched that for the first time
J.K.
last year.
Simmons is Santa.
Yeah, it was good. I think that's like the best like Santa origin story kind of. Like that was actually, well, it was very fun, and I don't know, it felt very cool.
It was
yeah.
very sweet and like
good
Like a
animation.
heartwarming kind of movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was very. I generally dislike Christmas movies, to be honest, despite liking Christmas, and I like watching them, but most of them are like awful. That was actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
All the Harry Potter movies,
Okay.
I think in the
they all have
movies,
Christmas in them.
Only the first
Yeah.
movie has Christmas in it, right?
No, I think
No, Christmas is like a big deal in like all the movies.
they
I
definitely
think.
show
Yeah.
it just for like time passing, just to be like, oh, it's Christmas time, guys. And then that's kind of it. But I feel like this at least makes an appearance at least like once.
In the first one, they have the Christmas morning scene.
Yeah, it's a bigger deal because it's like Harry's never
First
had
real
Christmas.
Christmas,
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a orphan.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I want to say Home Alone 3.
Is that the
Underrated.
New York
Yeah,
one?
dude.
Underrated.
Hell
I've
yeah.
only seen the first one. I've never seen the
Is that the
sequels.
Lost in New
I-
York? Or
No,
is
no,
that
it's
Home Alone
the-
2?
it's a different
the first
kid.
one, yeah, with
Okay.
a different kid.
No Macaulay Culkin.
Nope.
No Macaulay Culkin.
And
this
so-
is the one I watched as a kid. I
Which,
was a little.
By the way, I got to say props to Macaulay Culkin on your rebound. Like, there was a while there I was worried about you.
He's
but-
showing up on
yeah,
Fallout.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Can we get him on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hit him up.
Yeah. I mean, he
What's
was
the-
doing
what's the
podcast
third
stuff for a
one?
while.
So Home Alone 3, it goes, they decide to go a lot more bonkers with it, which is what I like. They so basically there it actually has terrorists in it too, where there's like a group of like high tech terrorist people who steal like this crazy like chip from like military technology, and they hide it in a race car so they can get it through airport security.
Yeah.
And then they end up accidentally switching bags with some lady, and then the kid and then the lady gives the bag, gives the race car to a little kid.
Was that not the first Home Alone movie?
No, the first one-
Home Alone is they forget him.
Yeah,
That's the,
they just
Have
fly.
I never seen the first Home Alone movie?
What?
I thought that was Home Alone.
they go on vacation and they just forget him.
It's
That's
'cause
the movie.
It's so crazy, and then,
And then
yeah.
people
He
break
lives
in
in like
and
a
he's-
mega mansion, basically.
yeah.
His house is ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's also like 15 people living there.
But yeah, so that's the movie that I always saw as Home Alone. Okay,
That's
never
funny.
mind. Yeah.
No, yeah, and then basically he figures out that the chip goes to the kid, and like the terrorist people are tracking it down, and they like triangulate to figure out, oh, it's in this block, but they don't know which house it is, so they're breaking into all the houses to find the chip, and then the kid who has chicken pox is stuck at home all day, home alone, and he's trying
alone?
to and then he figures out that like something's wrong, like these people are breaking into his houses, and they're eventually going to break into his house, so then he has to figure out like how to stop them or whatever, and it's actually very fun. A lot of the traps are very like creative and elaborate and funny for the most part, and you get the terrorists are just like they're not as they're funny because they take themselves so seriously, and yet they're like they get like
Incompetent
a
and, yeah.
clay pot dropped on their face or whatever. Like it's like shit like that where it's just like, oh, it's like that's the funniness comes from.
Yeah.
They're still making Home Alone movies, by the way.
They are?
Yeah, I think so.
Man.
Wow.
That's bad.
Home
Also,
Alone's just Die Hard for kids.
You made that comment last week, exactly 7 days ago when we watched Die Hard.
Yeah.
that's a good point though.
So another Christmas movie. It's not really underrated, but the Santa Claus. What did you guys think of that series? Do you think they should have stopped
Wait,
after the first
Did you
one?
say that was underrated?
No, I said it's not underrated.
Oh,
but what do
okay.
you guys think about it? Sorry, I just like.
they could have definitely stopped after the second one.
We actually
Now they have a fucking TV show.
What?
Right?
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
TV
it's on
show?
Netflix.
Santa Clauses, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
God.
and starring Tim Allen.
Santa comes out of the closet.
We watched that movie a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't know.
It's
I think the
fine. I don't know.
funniest, the only part I enjoyed was like the
when he
fact
killed Santa.
No, the only part I enjoyed was like in the second act when like becoming Santa is like ruining his life.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah, that
everyone
was
thinks
funny.
he's like losing his mind. And, I don't know. That's just really funny.
That's definitely the best part of it.
But for the most part, like, it was okay.
Yeah. And then, TV shows. So the TV show that I think has the best Christmas specials is American Dad. Have you ever
They do.
Yeah.
American Dad Christmas specials.
They are
always-
so unhinged. It's
I've only
like
seen one, but I
Which
was
one?
like, what the fuck? It's the one where they're going to war with the North Pole, essentially.
that's like every single one. Like
Well,
yeah.
no, the best American
I think
Dad.
it was the first one. I'm not sure.
I think that's a later one, actually.
Yeah.
The best American Dad Christmas special is the one where like the rapture happens and like Stan gets left behind,
Mm-hmm.
and like he has to like team up with Jesus to like defeat Satan like on Christmas, and it like ends with like Stan sacrificing his life, and he's like lighting up a cigar, and he's like, "Happy birthday, Mr. Jesus!" Like that was like my favorite. But yes, American Dad Christmas specials are always like super like bonkers.
No, there's like
That's-
another one where Santa is like trying to resurrect a like giant from I forget that like really old mythical fable, like the first book that was ever written or whatever.
Dude, Stan's like
don't.
dad.
Enkidu or whatever.
Inkadu?
Yeah. From
No.
No, it's
funny
like
word, though.
And they're talking about like all this like deep mythology and stuff, and I'm like,
Do you
this is
remember
just hilarious. Yeah.
the one where fucking the Krampus one? Where
Yeah.
Krampus.
Yeah.
Krampus is the shit.
Yeah.
Canonically, Stan's dad dies and becomes Krampus. It's like the end of Pirates of the Caribbean 3, like when Will Turner becomes Davy Jones, and then his dad is like Krampus for the rest of the series. Like that's like something that actually affects
so
the plot of that show.
Yeah.
That is something that I miss about like, network TV, like growing up. All of your favorite shows every year would have a fucking Christmas episode. And it just felt good, that time of year. Like I was always excited for like the Malcolm in the Middle Christmas episode.
Yeah, what's the funny thing that they're gonna do on Christmas?
Like the one where they're selling Christmas trees.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
And then Craig gets bitten by the
squirrel.
and they have to
Yeah.
chase it. Oh, it's so funny. It's like we're on his turf now.
The first Office Christmas special is really funny too.
I literally just watched. I'm rewatching The Office because I started off with the Christmas special. I was like, I just want to watch that episode. It's so
I've
funny.
never seen Krampus. I've heard that's good.
And then
Krampus is great. It's from the creators of Trick or Treat, or the director. I think Krampus is probably a better overall like movie. It's just like its own thing, and it's it's awesome. Watch it. But Christmas special shows. First episode of The Simpsons. The first pilot episode is a Christmas episode.
really, I didn't know that.
It's they get Santa's Little Helper. That's why he's called Santa's Little Helper.
Oh, that makes
Because
sense.
they go because Homer. I think it's similar to Christmas Vacation where he like doesn't get a Christmas bonus. And he doesn't have any money for like Christmas gifts or whatever. So then he tries to win it all. So he just goes to the racetracks to try and like gamble to get like money, and he loses all his money. And then he's like, I don't know what to like. He bet it on Santa's Little Helper. Santa's Little Helper loses, and then he just the guy like chases off his dog. He's like, yeah, he's like beating him up, like, yeah, get out of here, you useless dog. And then Bart saves him, and then they take him home, and they're like, it's okay, it's our Christmas gift. And it's like, oh, it's so sweet. It's a very heartwarming first episode. But surprisingly, they don't have many other ones like that, or they don't have many Christmas episodes in general.
They were more onto like the Halloween. That really
Yeah.
was like
Those were the events.
Although they-
episodes.
things.
They
Yeah.
do have one that is one of my favorite Bart Marge like relationship episodes where Bart he really wants this like game, this like basically Mortal Kombat. It's like when Mortal Kombat came out, he wanted the Mortal Kombat game, but nobody wants to buy it for him because it's too violent or whatever. So then he tries to shoplift it and he gets caught. And then the shop security guard, he tries to hide it from his mom that he got caught for shoplifting. And then she finds out, she's like just disappointed in him. And it's like really heartbreaking because he tries to like earn back her trust and everything. But it's a very like touching episode as well. But
All right, really quick.
Yeah.
I did watch a Christmas movie this week that I want to talk about.
Wicked.
And Ron, I was wrong. I should have saved this for live for the podcast, but I said, I don't know why, but I feel like if anybody has seen this movie on this panel, it would be you. Look Who's Talking Now. But you have seen a movie from that trilogy.
I watched the first one, I think.
Okay, so I watched Look Who's Talking Now, which I hadn't even heard of prior to this week. It's a third movie in a trilogy. I haven't seen the first one. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is all assumption. The gimmick is like the babies like have celebrity voices, right?
I think so. I don't remember anything.
I think that's what it is.
Yes,
I think
yeah.
that so that it's like John Travolta is like the husband, and the babies talk via celebrity cameo voiceovers. But by the time they got to the third movie, which is a Christmas movie, the babies were like kids, so they were too old to have a voiceover. So they gave the celebrity voices to the dogs. So Danny DeVito is like one of the dogs, and the other is, I forget, but let me pull it up. Diane Keaton is the other dog. This movie was very bizarre because it all in one. It was a Christmas movie, a family movie, a raunchy comedy, a talking dog movie, and like all of these elements were just
How is it a raunchy comedy? I thought they were like fucking family movies.
that's what I'm telling you. It's bizarre that it's both a raunchy comedy, a Christmas movie, a family movie, like a career man movie. It's very.
Are these all things it tries to do, or does it actually like execute on them?
Oh no, it doesn't execute at all. It's a goddamn disaster, and it's weird. And that's what I mean is that. So for context, the opening scene to this movie is a dog meets another dog in an alley, and they're talking. This isn't Danny DeVito or Diane Keaton yet. These are just two random dogs, and the dog's like trying to like have sex with the other dog, and like the only way it convinces it's like, oh, I'm going to the vet tomorrow. And then the movie's title card is like sperms swimming around.
Oh my
God!
God.
There's like little sperms swimming around, and one of like the sperms like doesn't make it, and the other sperm says, "Don't worry, she was a dog."
Holy shit!
And then, like, and then there's like scenes of it's like a huge part of the plot is that there's a mix-up. So the mom doesn't want a dog at all, but John Travolta is like sad because his son like found out Santa's real or something, and the son's like sad about
Not
it.
real.
Or yeah, it's not real.
Okay.
So to like cheer him up, he's like, "Oh, hey champ, let's go get a dog for you." And then at the same time, John Travolta's boss, who's like low key trying to like home wreck, like she wants to like have sex with him, is like just drops off her dog and is like, "This is yours now." So now they have two dogs, one voiced by Diane Keaton, and she's like a prize dog that's well trained, and Danny DeVito is like a dirty street mutt like type. And like a huge plot of the movie is Danny DeVito trying to like have dog sex with the other dog. And like,
Oh my God.
and yeah, it's also like a family movie. Like all the transitionary scenes are all like drawings the kids do, and it's like trying to be cutesy and family, but
Who
also
greenlit this movie?
but also like the boss is trying to like have sex with John Travolta, and John Travolta is like an idiot in this movie. Like there's like a scene at the end where she basically makes him take her somewhere far because he's a pilot. I should have explained.
I mean, sure, why not?
He's like her personal. She's like a billionaire, and he's like her personal pilot. And she's like, "I need you to take me to a meeting now." And he's like, "It's Christmas Eve. I got to be there for my family." He's like, "It's important." But then when he gets there, she like unplugs all the phones and like makes it obvious. And then she's like, "Can you dance with me?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. That sounds like you were trying to seduce me." She's like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Okay." And he just like dances with her. And the only reason he finds out, even though she like takes off her like fucking jacket and shit, the only reason he finds out it's like a ruse is because he sees that the phone's unplugged. He's like, "Wait a minute." Then Danny DeVito fights off like a wolf at one point. It's a really. I'm glad I watched it.
Fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of glad I watched it. Like it was an experience. It wasn't a good movie, but it was an experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe I'm missing a lot of context from missing the first two movies, but I don't know.
I don't think that there's possible ways that context could have helped you.
So yeah, it's technically a Christmas movie, kind of. Watch it, maybe.
You know, one thing
I enjoyed it a lot more than this.
Fair. I forgot about this movie already.
Yeah, no, it's already
It's already
It's
left
gone.
my head.
It's fucking poof.
I mean,
What's it even called?
A Christmas
Dasher
Carol?
Goes
Oh
no, yeah. You know
Sorry, that's a good movie.
You know, one thing that's kind of died off now, but I'm glad to see it go is like Disney was pushing so hard to make Star Wars like a Christmas thing. They were like every year after they got like the properties and everything, I think because like they released Force Awakens like around Christmas, and they kind of did that where they were just releasing Star Wars movies around Christmas time, and they would ramp up all the merch and everything. So like everywhere you go, all you see was fucking Star Wars and Christmas shit, and like both mixed together or whatever. And now it's finally dying down. They finally pulled back, but for like a good like 5 years, it was just. It's Christmas time. That also means Star Wars, everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, God.
You know,
like,
the reason why they did that, though, is to combat Harry Potter Christmas.
I'm sure, yeah.
You know,
Harry
because-
Potter is a much stronger link.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter was more fall. I feel like that was always
Yeah.
in November. the
It's
Harry
like a
Potter
mix
movies.
of both, I think, because they do. It's like there's like the snowy time, you know, like they do it as like a time of passing and shit. So like it kind of makes sense to me, but still, it's like I don't know. I'm glad that it's pretty much done now.
Yeah.
It's one of those Christmas things that was there. Like it's like stop trying to make it a thing. It's not a thing.
Have you ever seen the holiday special?
No, I have not.
Neither have I. Neither have
actually-
You've seen it. Right?
I tried to watch it.
I think that
It was
it's very
awful.
silly. It's not good. It's not like the worst schlock
not
I've ever
Christmas.
watched.
Is it better
but-
than Dashing Through the Snow?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
it's
No,
abysmal.
but it's better. It's more enjoyable, but it's not like a better movie, if that makes sense.
It's not Christmas. It's like, what
it's
is
just,
it? Wookiee Appreciation
No, it's
Day?
a Life Day.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
Wookiee Life Day.
Day.
No, but it's like it's such bad schlock that it's like actually like enjoyable to watch.
Entertaining.
Like you can have fun watching it.
I don't fucking
It's a
know,
goofy
man. It's
movie.
really...
It's
it-
bad, but it's goofy. And I mean, like,
it's really bad, though.
I mean, maybe it's just because like the time I watched it and my nostalgia for it really like helped to cement it in. Because
When did you watch it?
I think I was a sophomore in high school, I think.
Okay.
And I, dumb kid in high school, no taste, no nothing. Yeah, but
But you like it, or are you just like
I thought it was awful, but I thought it was like a fun awful, if that makes sense.
sure? I
Yeah.
mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode today.
I mean, to
and
be fair,
all
did
over
you
the
see...
place.
this is
There's
our most...
nothing to say about this
Yeah.
fucking movie.
This is more chaotic than normal. But I am very, very, very excited for next week. We're going to do we're going to talk about the movies we saw from this year. We will
Our
all
little
make-
end of year
Oh,
wrap
man.
up.
Jason's going to only be able to talk about Speak No Evil,
Yeah.
I think. I hope you have a lot to say about Speak No Evil.
It's okay.
I mean, you
I've
can just,
only seen one
I think we can
movie
just
in
talk
theaters.
about movies that we've
I'm
watched
gonna have some
this year,
downtime
Yeah.
this week. Maybe I'll watch a couple movies.
I think it should be just movies from the year. I
That
think
came
that'd
out
be-
this
yeah,
year?
I think that'd be
Okay.
a fun way to round up
Craven
the
it
year.
is.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I think
It was actually pretty good.
well, okay, so
Shut up.
I've only watched like one movie that released this year, so I might be in the same situation as
I just watched
Jason.
Wicked. It was
Save it.
Save it.
Save it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the good thing is the movie you're talking about I saw with you, and the movie that you've seen I've seen, and I think me and Miles,
that was a wild sentence.
me and Ron have a lot of overlap, so it
Yeah.
will make it work.
yeah. We both
Oh,
watched
okay.
Inside Out too.
I didn't. Shut up.
We both watched Kung Fu Panda 4.
I've seen so many ads for Inside Out too. I don't know why, but it's like just they've been pushing it very hard.
I mean, it made a shitload of money. Although I think Moana 2 like really broke.
Oh, is
not
that
like-
out yet?
Yeah, it came out like a couple weeks ago, and it did really well. For
Really?
them, so good for them.
Yeah.
I guess. Whatever.
I mean, I just wish that they would stop making sequels. Next thing you know, they'll make a Frozen 2.
They already did.
Oh, wait, really? Oh.
Yes, a while ago.
You're joking, right? You didn't know.
No, I didn't know
You knew
about
that?
that.
Into
No,
the
I
unknown.
don't follow Disney.
The unknown.
I kind of liked Frozen 1 actually. I remember like
It's a
enjoying
good
it.
movie.
I haven't seen either.
You
of
know
them,
what?
But
They-
I knew there was a sequel.
Disney had to fight hard. They had been banking on like all these movies they had released that kids were constantly watching on repeat for years, and then
Poor Disney.
the Super Mario no, but then the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, and that stole away kids' attentions.
Well, yeah,
Like,
it's
that was
also-
like the first time that I had seen my cousin's children like constantly watching anything other than like the Disney movie of the week.
Yeah, and also, I mean, there's been Spider-Man came out, and then the TMNT movie. They've been like crushing it, and they're different kinds of animation. They're like fun and innovative and exciting, and so it's like, yeah, they got to step up.
Yeah.
They can't just
Step
the
up
same
to
shit.
the streets.
But
Exactly.
they're doubling down on doing sequels and using existing
Yeah.
properties instead
No,
of going for something new.
But I think it's gonna because I know Inside Out 2 did well and Moana 2 did well.
Well, of course
So-
they did well because you knew what you were walking into.
Miles
Yeah.
just
But
has
they
to
need to
bring
be
this
creative.
up
all
every
right,
week.
all right.
This is the weekly Miles rant about
right.
sequels. Even in our Christmas episode where we talk about a shitty Hallmark movie.
I'm
best
sorry.
Christmas sequel. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, does anybody else have anything they'd like to say about Dashing Through the Snow or our upcoming New Year's extravaganza?
It's the
No.
best Hallmark Christmas movie that I've seen this year. I'll say that.
oh my God.
It
The
is
best
Yeah.
one I've ever seen.
Same.
Yeah, it's a standout amongst.
It's the best one I've watched all the
No
way
one.
through.
Yeah,
Happy holidays. Watch Eyes Wide Shut or a good Christmas movie.
Watch
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
watch
Awesome.
Watch something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or watch this. Who
If you
cares?
watch this because of our recommendation, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, there's plenty of good holiday specials for all your favorite old TV shows that you can go back and
Yes.
watch.
Or watch this. Who cares? If you
Yeah.
want to do it, do it. Why not?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
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 Yeah.